The Deathwatch, unveiling the secrets of the Imperium's alien hunters. In the grim darkness of the far future, where there is only war, one organization stands as humanity's first and most lethal line of defense against the Xenos threat, the Deathwatch. This elite chapter of the Adeptus Astartes operates in the shadows, their black-armored warriors striking fear into the hearts of alien races across the galaxy. Today, we delve deep into the mysteries surrounding these legendary alien hunters, exploring their origins, tactics, and the unique position they hold within the Imperium of Man. The birth of legend, origins in the War of the Beast. Unlike many institutions within the Imperium, the Deathwatch's history doesn't trace back to the Horus Heresy, that defining moment that split the galaxy asunder. Instead, their genesis lies in an equally catastrophic event, the War of the Beast in Mass 32. This cataclysmic conflict saw the Imperium, still recovering from the wounds of the heresy, brought to the very brink of annihilation by an Orc war of unprecedented scale and cunning. The War of the Beast was no ordinary Orc invasion. These greenskins displayed a level of tactical acumen and coordination that defied everything the Imperium thought it knew about their kind. The Imperium found itself facing not just superior numbers, but an enemy that could match them strategically, a terrifying prospect that left even seasoned commanders reeling. Internal power struggles within the Imperium's leadership only exacerbated the crisis, preventing a unified response to this existential threat. It was during these dark days that the Space Marines once again proved their worth as the Emperor's finest. The Imperial Fists, already decimated by the conflict, took the lead under the brilliant leadership of Koorland, first as second captain, then briefly as chapter master. Koorland's extensive experience fighting Orcs gave him unique insights into their psychology and organization. He understood that such a massive, coordinated war could only be held together by an exceptionally powerful and charismatic warboss, or in this case, multiple warbosses known collectively as the Beast. The innovation of the kill teams. Koorland's strategic genius manifested in his creation of what would become the Deathwatch's signature tactical formation, the kill team. Recognizing that conventional warfare was failing against the Orc menace, he conceived of small, highly mobile units of veteran Space Marines drawn from different chapters. Each member would bring their chapter's unique specializations and combat doctrines, creating versatile strike forces capable of surgical precision strikes against enemy leadership and critical infrastructure. This radical idea flew in the face of tradition. Since the second founding, Space Marine chapters had fought as independent entities, their battle brothers bound by shared gene seed and centuries of tradition. To mix Marines from different chapters was considered by many to be borderline heretical, yet desperate times called for desperate measures. The Imperium stood on the precipice of destruction, and orthodox thinking had brought them there. The political maneuvering required to bring this vision to life proved almost as challenging as the military campaign itself. The High Lords of Terror, consumed by their own power games and deeply suspicious of Space Marine autonomy, particularly after witnessing Koorland's influence during the crisis, initially resisted the concept. To overcome this obstacle, Koorland was forced to make a devil's bargain with Inquisitor Lastan Nemagion Veritas, the representative of the Inquisition. The newly christened Deathwatch would operate under the aegis of the Ordo Xenos, the Inquisition's alien hunting branch, though operational command would remain with a Space Marine. The name and its significance. The name Deathwatch carries profound meaning, reflecting both the organization's grim purpose and its origins. According to the primary historical account, the name honors the fallen warriors of the War of the Beast. The first Deathwatch Marines were survivors from chapters that had suffered catastrophic losses. They had inherited the vigil, the watch, from their dead brothers. They would stand sentinel against the alien threats that had claimed so many of their kin. However, as with many aspects of Imperial history, alternative accounts exist. Some sources suggest the Deathwatch's founding predates the War of the Beast. originating instead from a conclave of the Inquisition thousands of years earlier. In this version, the name refers to the organization's role as guardians against the death of mankind, watchers standing vigil against the darkness that threatens to consume humanity. While less dramatic than the War of the Beast narrative, this account speaks to the Deathwatch's fundamental purpose as eternal sentinels. Organization and structure. The Deathwatch operates unlike any other Space Marine chapter, its structure adapted to meet the unique demands of their mission. Rather than the traditional company organization outlined in the Codex Astartes, the Deathwatch maintains a more fluid structure centered around their watch fortresses, massive space stations positioned at strategic points throughout the Imperium. Each watch fortress typically houses 5 companies of Deathwatch Marines, though these companies are smaller than standard Astartes formations, usually numbering around 50 warriors each. This smaller size allows for greater tactical flexibility and easier deployment of kill teams. The fortresses are commanded by Watchmasters, veterans who have proven themselves through countless campaigns against Xenos threats. Multiple Watchmasters report to a Watch Commander, who may oversee several fortresses across a sector or segmentum. The dispersed nature of the Deathwatch's operations means they lack a single chapter master in the traditional sense. Instead, multiple Watch Commanders coordinate their efforts across the galaxy, each responding to the unique threats within their domain. This decentralized command structure, born from necessity during the War of the Beast, has proven remarkably effective in allowing the Deathwatch to respond rapidly to emerging threats. The premier Watch Fortress, and the closest thing the Deathwatch has to a fortress monastery, is located on Thalassa Prime in the outer reaches of Ultima Segmentum. Here, new recruits are inducted, veterans perfect their craft, and the most powerful Deathwatch companies stand ready to deploy against the gravest threats. However, following the opening of the Great Rift and the fall of Cadia, the Deathwatch has further decentralized, with individual fortresses taking on greater autonomy in recruitment and training to ensure continuity of operations despite the difficulties of warp travel. The Black Shield Mystery. Among the many unique traditions of the Deathwatch, few are as intriguing or controversial as the Black Shields. While most Deathwatch Marines retain their original chapter's heraldry on their right shoulder pad, painting the rest of their armor black to signify their new allegiance, Black Shields bear no such markings. They have severed all ties with their parent chapters, their past erased, their origins a mystery even to their battle brothers. The reasons for becoming a Black Shield vary greatly. Some are the sole survivors of chapters destroyed in battle, with no home to return to even if they wished. Others come from chapters that have fallen to heresy or been declared excommunicate traitores, yet these individuals remained loyal to the Emperor and sought redemption in service. Still others may have committed some dishonor or shame that makes return impossible, or simply choose to dedicate themselves entirely to the Deathwatch's mission. Black Shields occupy a complex position within the Deathwatch. Their fellow Marines often view them with a mixture of respect and suspicion, honored for their dedication, yet wondered at for their secrets. Outside of combat operations, Black Shields frequently find themselves isolated, their mysterious past, creating barriers even among brothers who have learned to work seamlessly with warriors from dozens of different chapters. Yet in battle, all such concerns fade away. The Deathwatch judges its members by their skill and loyalty in the present, not their past, and Black Shields often prove themselves among the most dedicated and fearsome of the alien hunters. From a practical standpoint, Black Shields offer the Deathwatch something valuable: permanence. Unlike their brothers who may eventually return to their parent chapters, Black Shields serve until death. This makes them ideal for long-term operations and allows them to accumulate vast knowledge about Xenos threats that might otherwise be lost when Marines complete their vigils. Advanced wargear and forbidden knowledge. The Deathwatch's role as the Imperium's premier Xenos hunters grants them access to weapons and equipment that would be considered tech heresy in any other hands. The organization maintains vast arsenals of specialized ammunition, each type designed to exploit the weaknesses of specific alien races. Kraken penetrator rounds punch through the thickest chitin. Hellfire rounds carry bioacids deadly to tyrannid organisms, and dragonfire bolts create conflagrations that can clear entire nest warrens. Beyond ammunition, the Deathwatch employs weapons rarely seen elsewhere in the Imperium. The Stalker pattern bolt gun, with its enhanced targeting systems and extended range, allows Deathwatch Marines to engage targets with sniper-like precision. The Infernus heavy bolter combines the devastating firepower of a heavy bolter with an underslung heavy flamer, perfect for clearing Xenos from fortified positions. Perhaps most impressive is the Corvus Blackstar, a stealth insertion craft capable of delivering kill teams deep behind enemy lines undetected. Technology so advanced that even the vaunted Adeptus Custodes lack equivalent vessels. But it is in their use of Xenos technology that the Deathwatch truly sets itself apart. While the rest of the Imperium adheres strictly to the tech dogma of the Adeptus Mechanicus, viewing alien technology as heretical abomination, the Deathwatch operates under special dispensation. They are not only permitted but expected to capture, study, and when necessary, employ Xenos weapons against their creators. This arrangement comes with strict protocols. Deathwatch Tech Marines undergo regular memory wipes to prevent sensitive information from spreading. Watch fortresses maintain isolated vaults where captured Xenos technology is studied and stored. The knowledge gained from these studies has led to numerous advances in Imperial technology, though the Mechanicus would never publicly admit to such contamination of their sacred STCs. The price of service. Service in the Deathwatch demands sacrifice beyond even that required of typical Space Marines. The organization's need for secrecy extends to all who serve alongside them. The pilots who fly the Corvus Blackstars provide a chilling example. Recruited by Inquisitors who identify exceptional skill, these pilots are lured by promises of flying the most advanced craft in the Imperium. What they don't realize until too late is that they will become permanently bonded to their vessels, their bodies and minds merged with the machine spirits through arcane procedures. They gain immortality of a sort, but at the cost of their humanity, eternal servants who can never leave their posts. Even the Tech Marines who maintain the Deathwatch's equipment pay a price. The regular memory wipes ensure operational security but take their toll on the psyche. Some develop personality fragments, different aspects of themselves emerging between wipes. Others become increasingly mechanical in thought and deed, finding comfort in the certainty of ritual and routine when their own memories prove unreliable. For the Space Marines themselves, service in the Deathwatch means isolation from their parent chapters, sometimes for decades or even centuries. They must learn to work alongside warriors whose traditions and tactics may be radically different from their own. A Blood Angel assault specialist must coordinate with an Iron Hands Tech Marine. A Space Wolf hunter must trust an Ultramarine tactician. The bonds forged in such service often prove stronger than those of gene seed, creating a secondary brotherhood that transcends chapter loyalties. Tactical doctrines of the alien hunters. The Deathwatch has developed numerous specialized tactics for dealing with Xenos threats, each named and codified for rapid deployment. These go far beyond the standard approaches found in the Codex Astartes, representing centuries of hard-won experience against every major alien race in the galaxy. The Aquila tactic serves as their foundational approach, a flexible doctrine employed when facing unknown or poorly understood Xenos forces. Named for the two-headed Imperial eagle that looks both forward and backward, this tactic emphasizes adaptability and information gathering. Kill teams employing Aquila maintain dispersed formations, probing for weaknesses while maintaining overlapping fields of fire. As intelligence is gathered, the formation shifts seamlessly into more specialized approaches. Dominatus tactics focus on the elimination of enemy elite units and command structures. Developed through bitter experience against Eldar Aspect warriors and Tau crisis teams, Dominatus employs precision deep strikes and long-range firepower to decapitate enemy forces before they can bring their strengths to bear. Veterans speak of entire Tau cadres collapsing into confusion after kill teams eliminated their ethereals and commander suits in the opening moments of battle. The Führer tactics were born from necessity during encounters with orc hordes and tyrannid swarms. When facing numerically superior foes, kill teams employ massive firepower and area effect weapons to create literal walls of corpses. Frag cannons, heavy flamers, and cyclone missile launchers turn the enemy's numbers against them, creating obstacles that channel survivors into predetermined kill zones. Some veterans tell of battles where tyrannid advances ground to a halt, the creatures unable to climb over mountains of their own dead. Malleus tactics, first employed against tyrannid biotitans, represent the Deathwatch's approach to super-heavy threats. Land raiders and dreadnoughts provide mobile firepower, while specialized kill teams armed with power fists, thunderhammers, and melter weapons close to point-blank range. The tactic requires exceptional courage. Charging a Hierophant Biotitan or Orc Gargant is not for the faint of heart, but has proven effective time and again. Purgatus tactics embody the principle of decapitation strikes taken to its logical extreme. Developed after careful study of dozens of Xenos command structures, these tactics focus entirely on eliminating enemy leadership. Against orcs, this means hunting down the war boss and his nobs. Against tyrannids, synapse creatures become priority targets. Dark Eldar raids have been stopped cold by kill teams that identified and eliminated Archons within minutes of deployment. Finally, Venator tactics showcase the Deathwatch's ability to turn Xenos' strengths against them. Initially developed to counter Dark Eldar raiders, these hit-and-run tactics employ bike-mounted Marines and jump-pack assault troops to draw enemy attention, while Devastator teams and vehicles position themselves for killing blows. The mobility and aggression of the initial assault masks the careful positioning of the real striking force. Notable campaigns and victories. Throughout their long history, the Deathwatch has been instrumental in preventing countless Xenos threats from overwhelming Imperial worlds. The cleansing of Presidium saw a single kill team eliminate a Genestealer Patriarch moments before its cult could summon a hive fleet to a critical Forge world. During the Achilles Crusade, Deathwatch operations behind enemy lines disrupted Tau expansion efforts and eliminated several ethereals, causing entire septs to withdraw in confusion. Perhaps their most celebrated victory in recent memory came during the Octarius War, where Deathwatch kill teams performed surgical strikes on both Orc and Tyrannid forces, preventing either side from achieving decisive victory and keeping these two terrible threats locked in mutual annihilation. Watch Captain Artemis, leading multiple kill teams in coordinated strikes, managed to eliminate key synapse creatures and Orc warbosses at critical moments, maintaining the stalemate that served the Imperium's interests. The arrival of the Primis Marines has only strengthened the Deathwatch. These new warriors, with their enhanced physiology and advanced war gear, have proven exceptionally effective against Xenos threats. Primaris kill teams, equipped with bolt rifles and plasma incinerators, have achieved kill ratios that would have been impossible for firstborn Marines, while Primaris apothecaries have developed new techniques for combating Xenos toxins and bioweapons. The Modern Deathwatch. In the era of the Dark Imperium, following the opening of the Great Rift, the Deathwatch faces challenges greater than ever before. Xenos races across the galaxy have been emboldened by the Imperium's division. Necron dynasties awaken in unprecedented numbers, Drukhari raids increase in frequency and savagery, and new, never-before-seen alien threats emerge from the warp storms that plague the galaxy. The Deathwatch has adapted to meet these challenges. New watch fortresses have been established along the Great Rift, monitoring for Xenos attempting to exploit the Imperium's weakness. Kill Team Cassius, one of the most celebrated formations in Deathwatch history, has been reformed multiple times, its legacy continued by new warriors who take up the mantles of the fallen. Under the leadership of watchmasters like Vicus Corax and Cadden Mordain, the Deathwatch has also begun more aggressive recruitment, establishing training facilities in multiple segmentums to ensure a steady supply of warriors. The traditional reliance on seconded Marines from other chapters continues. But increasingly, the Deathwatch maintains permanent forces of Marines who serve from initiation to death. The philosophical burden, beyond the physical dangers, service in the Deathwatch carries a unique psychological burden. These warriors see the true scope of threats facing humanity, the sheer diversity and horror of Xenos races that would see mankind extinguished. They witness civilizations older than the Imperium, technologies that make mockeries of human achievement, and creatures of such alien malevolence that they defy comprehension. This knowledge weighs heavily on many Marines. Some become grimly fatalistic, convinced that humanity's extinction is merely a matter of time. Others burn with renewed fervor, their hatred for the alien refined to an almost spiritual purity. The most successful Deathwatch veterans find a middle path, acknowledging the magnitude of the threat while maintaining unwavering faith in humanity's destiny to rule the stars. The chaplains of the Deathwatch play a crucial role in maintaining this balance. Drawn from various chapters but united in purpose, they must minister to warriors whose spiritual needs vary greatly. A chaplain might lead a blood angel in prayers to Sanguinius in the morning, guide an imperial fist through pain meditation at midday, and share saga tales with a space wolf at night. Their flexibility and wisdom prove as vital to the Deathwatch's success as any weapon. The future of the Watch. As the 40 Honest Millennium draws to a close and the 40 Twund begins, the Deathwatch stands at a crossroads. The return of Robert Guilliman has brought new hope to the Imperium, but also new challenges. The Primarch's Indomitus crusade has stretched Imperial forces thin, and Xenos races across the galaxy probe for weakness. New threats emerge constantly. The Tyranid hive fleets adapt and evolve, developing resistances to tactics that once proved effective. Necron dynasties demonstrate technologies that border on the divine. Orc empires grow in the galactic east, while mysterious signals from beyond the galactic edge hint at threats yet unimagined. Yet the Deathwatch endures. Each new challenge is met, studied, and overcome. Knowledge is accumulated, tactics refined, and victories won in the shadows. For every world that falls to Xenos predation, a dozen are saved by black-armored warriors whose names will never be known, whose sacrifices will never be celebrated in Imperial hymns. This is the true strength of the Deathwatch, not their advanced weapons or specialized tactics, but their unwavering dedication to a thankless task. They are the thin black line that stands between humanity and extinction, the watchers in the darkness who ensure that mankind's light continues to burn in a hostile galaxy. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. But as long as the Deathwatch maintains its vigil, humanity will never fight alone. The alien, the mutant, and the heretic will find no purchase in Imperial space while these sentinels stand guard. They are the Emperor's judgment upon the Xenos, delivered from the barrel of a bolter and the edge of a power sword. The Deathwatch stands ready. The vigil continues. And somewhere in the darkness between the stars, alien eyes close for the last time as black-armored death descends upon them. This is the promise of the Deathwatch, that humanity's enemies will never sleep soundly, never rest easily, never forget that somewhere, warriors in black are coming for them, for the Emperor, for the Imperium, for the eternal vigil that guards humanity's future. The Watch begins anew with each sunset. And it will not end until the last alien threat to mankind has been purged from the galaxy.